Joining us for another segment, Roy Lang from the Times newspaper. Okay, Jerry Jones, Roger Goodell, Jerry Jones. Is the rift between those two, is it as bad? Is the backbiting, is there really a brewing civil war between the Jerry Jones owners and the Roger Goodell and his group of owners? Is it as bad as what you read?
Man, I think it's pretty bad. I mean, I think you're talking about some of the most powerful people in the country right now, because the NFL, and of course I'm not talking politics, I mean in the sports world, certainly the most powerful people. The NFL is huge business, much bigger than any other sport, much more popular than any other sport. But right now, some tough times. They've obviously had some major controversies. They have this safety issue, and now you got the owners squabbling about what they're going to pay the guy that's running their league. You know, this is an owner's league, so whatever Roger Goodell is getting, it has to be approved by all the owners. And he's asking for $49 million, a private jet for life, free health care, this and that, at a time that, you know, all these things are going on that are making people question about whether they want to spend their time watching the NFL, spending their money on the NFL. And now you got the owners squabbling about it, and Jerry Jones coming out against it. And the thing going against Jerry Jones right now is the Ezekiel Elliott case. You know, I think a lot of people just assume, well, they suspended Ezekiel Elliott, who wasn't arrested or charged for a crime, 6 games. And, you know, if Jerry Jones had a problem with Goodell, now he's just bringing it out because of the Ezekiel Elliott thing.
Do you think the fight that's going on between those two right now, my sense is that it's a lot greater, at least with Jerry Jones. It's a lot more than just the Ezekiel Elliott ruling. What do you think?
I do. I mean, I really think, you know, you can say what you want about Jerry Jones, but that guy is a heck of a businessman. He knows what he's doing. You look at the Cowboys franchise through thick and through thin, how popular they've been and what he's done with it. I think he wants what's best for the league. And I think his point was, listen, this deal with Goodell doesn't have to get done for more than a year. He's still under contract. And $49 million and the jet and all this, it's just not a good look for the league at this time to be talking about that. And he wants ultimate or unprecedented accountability is what he wants. So I just think that people need to listen to Jerry Jones. I think he wants obviously what's best for the Cowboys. And when we say what's best for the Cowboys, we're talking about business. We're talking about wins and losses. You know, his job is to make some money. His job is to make the Cowboys. They're already worth $4 billion. So I think he knows what he's talking about. And sure, is he burned by this Elliott thing? But in the big picture, he understands what is good for the league is going to be good for Jerry Jones. And I think all these other owners don't want this controversy, and they want to sort of put him to bed, and it could get ugly.
But
he could take action.
On the other side of that coin, though, Goodell seems to have his own faction of owners who are adamantly behind him. Is Goodell, to some degree, maybe to a great degree, is he sort of like James Elrod? Is he sort of like Meryl Streep in The Devil Wears Prada, that you can try to bring him off the throne, but you better be ready for a huge fight, and the odds are against you?
Yeah, it's clear that that's happening right now, because I know that, you know, the 31 other owners aren't against Jerry Jones. I guarantee you he's got people in the corner, but you don't hear anybody coming up to back him up, do you? And, you know, it's one of those things where, whoa, you know, we there's some things we disagree about Roger, but I don't think we're going to say that. I mean, it's crazy. We're talking about billionaires. These are billionaires that are fighting over this, and I think that they've got their guy that, sure, they don't like him 100% of the time, but they've got their guy, and they don't really want to. I just don't think they want to upset the apple cart.
You spend more time covering the NFL, specifically the Cowboys and Cowboy-related issues, than almost anything else, other than the real local stuff. Do you think the owners that are backing Goodell, and I say backing in verbal italics, the owners who are backing Goodell, do you think they're really pro-Roger, or are they more anti-Jerry? And if so, why? What has Jerry Jones done to alienate his peers?
Well, that's a really good question. I would be interested to know what the percentage of that is. And it's hard to from my point of view, if every owner was like Jerry Jones, I think the league is good. But I don't think the league would be bad if everybody was like Jerry Jones. I mean, the guy knows what he's doing business wise, and he puts a pretty good product on the field. Not terrific, but better than average. So. I don't know. Some of the public things that Jerry Jones has said, he's very outspoken. He doesn't, he's the only owner that you can, I could sit and talk to Jerry Jones for 15 minutes probably 45 minutes if I wanted to after every Cowboys game. So he's the only owner that's out there. He's the only owner that's really outspoken about every issue all the time. Jerry's face is everywhere. So I'm sure that there's a lot of, hey, we're trying to run a business and it's about the team, it's not about you type of things. And, if Jerry Jones has done anything, I think it's just been out in the public, been the face of the Cowboys for too long in terms of accessibility. Like I said, most other owners aren't accessible at all. But, I could write a book just on talking to Jerry Jones through 5 home games this year.
If you had to speculate, to guess, in a year and a half, in 2 years, whenever the contract is up, will Roger Goodell remain as commissioner of the NFL?
It looks like Roger's pretty safe. I think, Jerry Jones is a powerful guy, but there's a lot of powerful guys in the league, and it doesn't look like he has a lot of backing. But I don't, all this talk of, they're going to take the Cowboys away from Jerry Jones, I don't think that's going to happen either. It would be interesting if he did say, okay, well, I want to be NFL commissioner. I'm going to give the team to my kid, sort of like Bud Selig did in Major League Baseball. But I think Roger's here to stay for a while, and I think this will pipe down, and Jerry will certainly own the Cowboys.
You just said something very interesting. You said Bud Selig, former Brewers owner, but he signed off. He gave away his team to his kids to become commissioner.
Right.
Jerry Jones, commissioner of the NFL?
Yeah. It'd be interesting. It'd be really interesting. He wouldn't need the $49 million in a private jet. He's already got that. So, but the NFL's got some. They need something good in terms of some talk among the public that is good. Right now, they've got a lot of things that are negative, and it's all not working well for the league.